I walked my daughter down the aisle, and my father heard about it Sunday. Emma isn't my blood. I married her mom when Emma was 5, and her real dad had already been gone 2 years by then. I did the fevers, the flat tires, the bad boyfriends, the college move-in. She's mine in every way that ever mattered except the one my father can't get past. My dad is a blood guy. Always has been. First Christmas I brought Emma around, she made him a card, and he set it on the table without looking at it and asked me when her actual father was coming back into the picture. I was 27 and stupid, and I let it slide. I kept letting it slide for years, honestly, because that's just how you handle my dad. You don't fight him, you wait him out. So this spring Emma gets engaged. She's 24 now, and about a month before the wedding, her bio dad crawls back out of wherever he'd been and emails her mom asking to walk Emma down the aisle. Said he'd been sober a while and wanted to be there for the big moments. 20 years of nothing, and now he wants the moment with a photographer pointed at it. Emma showed me the email and just watched my face. I told her it was her call. I meant it. I said whatever she wanted. He called me on a Tuesday night and said he'd heard and that Emma should let her real father do it. His words. It's his right. You've had her the whole time. Give the man his day. I said, his day? He wasn't there for a single one of her days. Dad said, blood is blood. You'll always be the stepdad. Don't embarrass yourself trying to be more. I hung up on him, which I'd never done in my life. For 2 weeks it was a whole thing. My dad called Emma's mom. He called my sister to get her on his side. He told my aunt at a birthday party that I was muscling a father out of his own kid's wedding. And my aunt, who barely knows the situation, gave me a look across the potato salad like I was the villain. Nobody asked Emma what she wanted. Everybody just decided what was owed to a man who'd done nothing. The bio dad and Emma met for coffee. She told me about it after. She said he cried and talked about himself for an hour and asked her, near the end, if the venue had an open bar. That was it for her, I think. But she didn't announce anything. She just went quiet on the topic, and I let her have her quiet. We moved the date up 2 weeks. Small reason venue thing, that's what we told people. Really, it was so the noise would settle. My dad assumed the wedding was still 3 weeks out, and I decided I was done managing everybody's feelings, so I didn't correct a single person. Saturday, Emma got married, and when the doors opened at the back of that little chapel, she was standing there with her hand already through my arm. She looked up at me and said, "Ready, Dad?" Not stepdad. Dad. She'd never dropped a step before, not once, and she picked that second to do it. I walked her down, handed her off, sat in the front row and cried like the whole thing was leaking out of me at once. My father wasn't there. He wasn't invited to that version. Neither was the bio dad. And I didn't feel 1 ounce of guilt, which surprised me. Sunday he found out. My sister let it slip on the phone, the date, the walk, all of it. He drove straight to my house, didn't knock, just came up the driveway while I was pulling the trash cans back in, and he was already yelling. You had it 2 weeks early on purpose. You cut that man out. You cut me out. I said I didn't cut you out. You cut yourself out 20 years ago when you asked when her real dad was coming back. He said I'm her grandfather. You're a man who made a little girl feel like a guest in this family for 2 decades. She noticed. She's always noticed. He got real quiet then, and he tried the last card he had. He said one day that girl's going to want to know where she really comes from, and you won't be enough. I looked at him standing in my driveway, and I finally said the thing I'd been swallowing since I was 27. She already knows where she comes from. She comes from the guy who showed up. That's me, and you don't get to be at the finish line of a race you refuse to run. He hasn't called since Sunday. Emma has. She calls me every night from the honeymoon just to say goodnight, Dad.